Welcome back to Well, What Do You Know? In this episode, I had the pleasure of sitting down with Jane Fuhs, a lifelong educator who spent her entire career teaching at Roland Story Elementary School in Story City, Iowa. Jane shares how her life began with constant moves from town to town before eventually finding her home in central Iowa, where she still lives today. Join me as we take this journey with Jane Fuhs. All right, Jane, thanks for joining me. This is exciting. I appreciate you coming.
Welcome.
So, Jane, you want to just start off? I would love to know about your childhood, where you grew up, what it was like growing up as Jane. What was her maiden name?
Stupka.
Stupka. So what was it like growing up as Jane Stupka?
I had 3 brothers and 1 sister, and my mom and dad, and we were a busy family. My dad worked for a department store, and his job was to go in and clean up the store from employees that were stealing from the store. So by the time I was in 4th grade, I had lived in 15 different homes already.
So what do you mean clean up?
Employees were stealing money from the cash register, so he would go in, figure out who was doing what, can them, and when the store was the way it was supposed to be, then we'd move on. Sometimes we lived in a place 6 months, sometimes we lived in a place for a year or 2.
Wow.
So we moved around a lot.
Yeah. So he was like an independent contractor, not being hired by these department stores to do this.
Yep.
Did it ever get dangerous?
Yes.
Yeah.
There were threats to the family. We never could tell we could never tell our friends where my dad worked. Okay. He went to work every day, but we could never say where he worked because of threats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was he a business owner, or did he work for somebody doing this?
He worked for the company.
Yeah, you can't even say it now.
Yeah, no, I can't, because we were drilled never to say that. Never.
What about mom?
My mom worked outside of the home. She a lot of times would work overnight, and then she'd come home and make breakfast for us. So we would always have a hot breakfast before we went to school. She'd sleep and get up and go to work again.
Yeah. So what was that like, moving around that much? It almost sounds like a military family.
Kind of, you would think so, yeah. You never really got to establish a lot of friends. Right. So you would meet friends, and then you knew that you were going to lose them before long. So when we moved to Huxley, when I was in 4th grade, he finally said enough was enough, and we built, it was called the Bauman. It was a restaurant in Huxley, kind of like a McDonald's, where you come in and get burgers and fries, and there we stayed.
Oh, so from 4th grade on. So you did all that moving up
until 4th grade.
So what is that age?
10.
Yeah. So you did all that moving before age 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm. One year I was in 3 schools in 1 year.
Wow. All in Iowa? Sure.
No. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, South Dakota usually is where we were.
So how big of a transition was that to just even have a home that you stayed in?
You didn't. Sometimes we never unpacked.
But I mean, when you got to 4th grade and you stayed.
It was like, wow.
This is what everybody else is like.
This is a normal family right now. So
you mentioned 3 brothers. All older, younger? What?
My oldest brother, Tim, is the oldest, and then it was me. Then it was my brother Steve. Then it was my brother Kerry and my brother Nate.
Did you guys all get along?
Oh, for the most part. We had the brother-sister squabble, and
sure.
But yeah.
Sure. Do you think it was difficult on them moving around as well?
Yeah, I think so. And I think the older we got, the harder it got. All of my brothers were athletes, and so it was hard to form a team feeling when you're constantly moving.
Right. And the oldest brother, what age was he when you guys finally settled down?
He was 6th grade.
Okay, so he did get to enjoy high school in one place.
Right.
Okay, and Ballard, right?
Right.
For all of you.
All of us, yeah.
That's awesome. So you just finished a very impressive teaching career. I gotta wonder, do you think you mentioned, moving around a lot, not establishing, friends a lot. Did that lead you towards elementary teaching in a way to help kids?
Kind of. I always felt like I was behind in school because we would move from one school to another, and they would have taught something that I had missed. And so I just felt like I had huge gaps, especially in the area of math.
Okay.
And so, but as a kid, I always wanted to be a teacher. We would play school, and if I didn't get to be the teacher, I wouldn't play.
So as far back
as I can remember, really? I've always wanted to be a teacher.
Really? Wow. I took a little different path. I remember helping kids in math in high school and thinking I could probably do this, and so I didn't really want to become a teacher until high school at some time. But you knew right away.
I always knew I wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah. So tell me about high school experience then.
In high school, I played basketball. Sat on the bench most of the time, but I did go to practice every day. And I was in the band. I was in the choir. I was a flag girl. Actually, when I graduated from Ballard, I did their flag routines for 2 years after graduation. Oh, cool. Choreographed them for them, and loved going to high school. Absolutely loved it.
Good.
Still in contact. Actually, my 7th grade teacher, there's 3 of us and her, and we get together at least once or twice a year and go out to eat.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
That's great. So speaking of teachers that you had, was there a specific teacher or memory that propelled you into wanting to become a teacher? Or was
No, I don't think so. I kind of liked all my teachers.
Teacher's pet a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I was scared if I got in trouble at school, I was going to be in more trouble at home.
Yeah,
so I
same.
did what I had to do in school to be good.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. So then after high school, it came time to choose a college. And
I went to DMAC for the first 2 years to get all the garbage courses, I call them.
Yeah, Gen Ed.
Yep, all those out of the way. And then I transferred to Iowa State. And finished up there, and then worked for a couple years and started on my master's with Drake.
Okay.
So got that all done.
Worked for a couple years. What did you do?
Here worked. It's taught, and then started into my master's.
So you were doing your master's at Drake while you were a young teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, Drake used to come into the school, so we would do. It was a 2-year program, and you would do 1 weekend a month. Okay. For 2 years.
Wow.
It was great because you were doing your classes with the people you knew, and it was us and Roland Story. Okay. And so we would get together, we'd have study groups, we'd do projects together, and everybody was right there. So it was perfect.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I wish they still had that program.
Yeah, it was a nice program.
Yeah. So you have your master's. What was your master's at?
Effective learning and leadership.
Oh, okay. Is that what led, because you mentioned to me before that you were a special ed teacher for a while. Mm-hmm. So you obviously got your degree in elementary education, and then also
I have a special ed endorsement. Yeah. That was my dream always, is to be a special ed teacher. Okay. I don't know, I have a soft heart for the kids that have special needs, but once I got into it, I hated all the paperwork. They really took a lot of the fun out of teaching in the special ed department, and so I went back into the regular ed and figured I can work with the special ed kids within my regular classroom.
Yeah, that makes sense. So after college, after Iowa State, you have any crazy college stories you want to get off?
No. I got married my sophomore year so we didn't have any money, so we stayed at home and go to the library, take a nap, study, and go back home and start all over again. So
let's talk about that. You're recently remarried.
I am remarried.
So let's talk about your first marriage there, that you just got married in college, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that, how long did you know him? And
we were high school sweethearts.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
From Ballard.
Yep.
Ballard as well.
And we went to school together, hung out on the weekends together, and then when we went to college, he was a year ahead of me. So we figured we might as well just get married. We're both doing the same thing anyway, so we did, and had a good run, had 2 kids, and yeah.
What was he going to school for?
He was agronomy.
Agronomy, okay. Well, Iowa State's in school for
Yep,
that, so.
Yep.
Yeah, so you guys got married, you said your sophomore year?
Yeah, we were young.
Yeah.
Very young. I was 18.
Yeah, well, so was that during your DMAC, or was that
No, that was during DMAC.
During DMAC, okay.
Yeah.
Great. So you were married before you went to Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But at that point, it was better to get married because of all the Pell Grants that you could get. Oh. So we both got out of college with a $500 loan between the two of us.
That's it.
Because of the Pell Grants that were given to people that were married. So
that's awesome.
It was nice.
And how long were you, what was his name? I'm sorry.
Scott.
Scott. How long were you married to Scott?
We were married 21 years.
21 years. Wow. And 2 kids out of it?
Yep.
So I got to hear you. Proud mom. Tell me about the kids.
Brittany, my oldest, they had told us she was going to be a boy all along. And at that point, they didn't do ultrasounds.
Right.
So we just planned on a boy. But we, in the back of our minds, we thought we better have a name for a girl.
Right.
So he wanted Ashley Noel. She was due Christmas Day.
Oh.
And I wanted Brittany Noel. And so we decided it would be on hair color. If she was blonde, she would be Ashley. If she had dark hair, she would be Brittany. And so when she was born, the first question we asked was, what color is her hair? Well, of course it was dark. She hadn't had a bath yet. So I'm like, it's Brittany. Yay, it's Brittany. And then when they took her and washed her hair, she was as blonde could be. So, yeah, she's got a heart of gold. And my son, Austin, he was a challenge when he was little. They thought he had a hole in his esophagus because he was a wheezer. And we were in and out of the hospital so many times with him when he was little. But once he turned 1, nothing ever happened again. Really? We didn't go back until he was 2. So
there's no explanation?
No explanation for it, no.
And what do they both do now?
Brittany she's been a teacher. She went to a learning coach, and now she's special ed. Okay. And my son, Austin, works for Wells Fargo as a risk coordinator.
They give you grandkids?
No.
No, not yet?
No.
Still waiting on that.
I don't think I'll have any.
This episode of the Well, What Do You Know podcast is brought to you by P Squared Design, where your memories become keepsakes. Imagine this. Grandma's voice reading a bedtime story, even when she's miles away. At P Squared Design, we record those special moments, like grandparents reading to their grandkids, and turn them into lasting treasures. We create a beautiful bookmark with a QR code that, when scanned, plays that recording anytime, anywhere. It's story time, on demand, with the people who matter most. Visit psquareddesign.com to explore our work and start creating something unforgettable. That's psquareddesign.com. P Squared Design. Your story, your voice, your keepsake.
Welcome back to Well, What Do You Know? We'll pick right up where we left off with Jane Fuhs. You then did your student teaching at Roland Story?
I did, third grade.
And what year was that?
86.
And then,
fall of 86.
And then got a job at Roland Story, right? Just
right.
Right after your student teaching?
I graduated in December, and I was hired in May.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
And spent your entire career at Roland Story?
Spent my entire career at Roland Story.
That's awesome.
And when I was growing up, being a Ballard Bomber, we hated Roland Story. These were 2 teams that went back and forth. So I can't say that anymore. I love Roland Story.
Right. Yeah. You've had a great career there. What's a moment or memory from your life that you find yourself telling over and over again?
I guess it would be with my dad. My dad passed away 2 years ago, but growing up, we would always go on family vacations. We just never would know where we were going. He thought it was real funny to keep it a secret and not tell anybody where we were going. And we'd, what should we take to pack and blah, 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 all that stuff. And he'd like, well, pack for anything. Off we go. And so when we were younger, we were mostly going to Minnesota or Kansas City, depending on which baseball team was giving away a free gift for the day when we went in. He loved baseball. He was a huge baseball fan. But as we got older, we would just pack. And one time he said, well, I think we'll head to Minnesota. And we ended up in Cheyenne, Wyoming, out at the rodeo. So it was kind of fun. It was put a moment where you didn't know what you were going. So I don't know. My kids were junior high, I think. And I thought, I'm going to try that. Yeah. So we went on a vacation, and they didn't know where they were going. It drove them nuts. They just kept bugging me. And so I had a clue for every day when we got in the car.
Yeah.
And they had to figure out where we were going and what we were going to do for that day. And they still talk about it. It was a fun thing. So I wish I would have done that earlier because it added to the vacation with the kids.
Where'd you take them?
We went to Mackinac Island, up in the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah.
And then we went to the Wisconsin Dells. So we went through the Dells and then up through the peninsula. So
That's fun.
it's fun.
And they got over it. They did.
Oh, yeah, they got over it. They thought it was kind of fun after day 2.
Yeah. We did that one time to our kids. We put in the movie Field of Dreams.
Oh.
We had a Chevy Blazer that had a DVD player.
Uh-huh.
And they put on the headphones, and we timed it just right, put in the movie, and when the movie ended, we were in Irisville. And
how cool was that? That's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
But my kids hate surprises, so we couldn't do that. We
Yeah.
couldn't do what you did. It absolutely drove us insane. Do you remember any other vacations like that your dad sprung on you?
No. We did mostly the car ones. When my younger brother, Nate, he was the oops of the family, so he was really late. They would do more airplane trips, and so then it became harder because they would think they're going one place and they'd end up going to another. So
yeah, you can't pack for anything.
No.
And get on an airplane.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So tell me about the person in your life who's had the biggest impact on you, on who you are today, or it can be on your career. Or who's that one person?
Probably my younger brother, Nate. I pretty much raised him. He was so much younger than the rest of us, and Mom was working, and so I took care of him all during the day. And he passed away 3 years ago of COVID. But I talk to him every day. I have his picture hanging up, and he was just, when he was younger, I kind of thought he was a pain, but he was smart in so many ways, financially, and he would always be the calm in my storm. I could call him when I was upset or whatever, and he would talk me down and reassure me that everything was going to be okay.
Yeah. What was the age gap between you two?
Probably 15 years.
15, wow. So yeah,
It was a big difference.
Yeah, wow.
It was a big difference.
What did he do for a living?
He worked for a company that fixes the big caterpillars on the road.
Oh, okay.
His biggest client was over in Italy.
Yeah.
So he sold parts and stuff.
Wow. Did you get to travel there?
Yeah.
He never took you?
No, he did take me to Hawaii.
Okay.
He took my sister and I to Hawaii with his family. He said it was a thank you for everything we did for him while he was growing up.
That's awesome.
Good guy.
Glad you got to spend that time with him. And so he got COVID. And
he did, and
he had it bad.
Well, not at first. He didn't. Yeah. He was on that 14-day quarantine, and I talked to him every day, and he was mad because he had to stay in the basement and he didn't get to see his wife and kids. And it was on the final day, the 14th day, his wife had taken dinner and set it on the steps for him, and all of a sudden he just started coughing and couldn't catch his breath. She thought maybe he was choking. So they put him in the car and drove to Des Moines with the windows down. Got him in. He was in the hospital 2 days, and they put him on a vent. Wow. 2 days later, he died. His temp was 108.5 when he died.
Goodness. Wow.
So, he was fine. He had no other symptoms until day 14. It was crazy.
So many people and educators, I was in education at the time as well, thought it was stupid that we were home, and then you hear stories like that, and that could have been anybody.
Absolutely right. It was a scary time.
Yeah.
Scary time.
It was. So this is a question you can think on a little bit if you want to. But if future generations could only hear one thing from you, what would you want them to know?
Be kind to everyone.
Yeah.
Be kind. I think people today are worried only about themselves. Mm-hmm. And they forget that there's a whole world out there that needs kindness.
Yeah.
And it's okay to say no to your kids. It's okay.
Can you expand on that for me?
I think today, in today's world, I think parents want to be more of a friend mm-hmm. to their child than their parent. And they let them do whatever they want to do. And it's going to come back. There's going to be repercussions later. And I guess if it was me, I would want my kid to know the difference between right and wrong, and that there are consequences for things that you do. And I want them to learn that when they're little yet, so that they can change. But be kind.
So how many, estimate this for me, how many kids do you think you have taught in the classroom?
I tried to figure this out. And if I did an average of 25 kids, 39 years.
Wow.
That's a lot of kids.
That is a lot of kids.
That's a lot of kids.
Wow.
You've been around for a while when you start having kids of the kids you've had in your room.
Right. So what advice would you have for a teacher just starting now? Is it so much different when it gets
terribly different?
Yeah.
Yeah, terribly different. Before Mrs. Hartzler was the principal, we had a principal, Mr. Boning, and I used to try to think I could save all kids.
Yeah.
That whatever their problem is, I can help them get through it. We can do it. And I guess as a teacher now, his statement, "You can't save everyone," stands out to me. Mm-hmm. You can help everyone, but you can't save all of them.
But isn't it okay to try?
Oh, absolutely. It's okay to try, but I needed to know that even though I tried, that was enough.
Right.
I wasn't going to be perfect with every kid I had. So you always got to try, and all you can do is do your very best. And I always told my kids on the last day of school, I hope that I was more than a teacher, that I've also become your friend, and you could call me or text me or send me an email if you ever need help, because I would be the first one there to help you.
Right. Go to a lot of weddings.
Go to a lot of weddings. A lot of graduations.
Right.
And
Yeah.
But it's nice when you see them and they come up to you. You haven't seen them for several years and they remember you and give you a hug. So I know I've made a difference.
Yeah. So I know you've seen even recently in the last couple of years, new teachers start at Roll and Story right out of college. Mm-hmm. What do you think the biggest change is for them compared to when you started?
I think now everything is so scripted. All of the curriculums that we have, this is what you say, this is what you do. I think a lot of the creativity of that teacher has been sidelined. Okay. And so know your curriculum, know your standards, but it's okay to teach it in a way that makes you feel good too.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to get to those standards, but we all don't have to teach it exactly the same way. Mm-hmm. Let your personality shine. Don't get lost in the scripts that they want you to say.
Right. It's really good advice. So you just got back from a nice trip, right?
I did. I went on a honeymoon cruise to the Mexican Riviera, to Cabo and Ensenada.
Nice.
Yeah.
And recently got married?
I did.
Yeah. And what's his name?
Stuart.
Is he from around here?
He is from Bangor, Iowa, which if you go through Roland, McCallsburg, Ziering, there's Bangor, but if you blink, you will miss it.
All right. So he's one of a few from Bangor is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you guys got married in July?
July
Is that right?
5th, yep.
Congratulations.
At his house, at our house, I should say.
Yeah.
At our house outside. It rained the whole time.
Sure.
But we had a good day.
As it has been all summer.
I know. It's
Right.
crazy.
Right. That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
So, thank
That's
you.
Great. And any more trips coming up?
Well, we're going to Alaska next summer. Going to his nephew's wedding in Spokane, Washington at the end of September.
Oh.
So, yeah, not teaching now. I
Yeah.
can go on a few more trips.
Hey, I should have asked you, enjoying retirement then.
Yes, I am enjoying it. Right
Good.
now, it just seems like it's summer.
Right. Oh, that's true.
So-
You'll really get to know next, August 25th?
Yeah,
When kids go back
whenever.
and teachers go back. And
Yep.
You're just,
I don't have to.
You don't have to go back. Well, that's awesome. Jane, I really appreciate you coming in and sharing your story
you.
with us.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Well, What Do You Know? The podcast created to tell people's stories. Everybody's got a story, and every story is worth saving.
The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Well, What Do You Know podcast, P Square Design, Pagitech LLC, or our sponsors. The Well, What Do You Know podcast, its parent company, and its sponsors are not responsible for any statements made by guests during the recording or publication of this episode.